Was it Terrible Tuesday? You already know we right here at work. Decided to hop on top of the individuals, see what the talk of the town. It's going down the word of the curve. You heard me. Now, normally I don't do lives on Tuesdays because my day off, right? But like I said, we're that backed up. We had to come into work, make it happen, get it cracking. So here we are. Here in Southern California, it is a hot as fuck day, bro. It's the hottest day of the whole entire week. It is scorching out there. You can literally fucking cook an egg on the sidewalk. This shit is no joke. It is hot as fuck. It's getting hot up in here. But no, take off all your clothes. Just wanted to see what's, good with the folks and the lokes. See what's good with everybody. What's cracking like Mr. Pasa? It's definitely up in the casa for the raza. What's good, Loke? The homie Derek is definitely up in the building. How's your guys' Tuesday going? A toda madre o un desmadre? That's right. Getting to make the bacon and eggs, huh? Shit is hot as fuck today, bros. This by far is the hottest day. No lie. The heat is outrageous today. Is no joke. Now, I was gonna make a video about this, but I decided to, might as well speak on it on my live instead. Which I was asked by somebody, like, do I consider myself a journalist, right? Because that most YouTubers, when they come on here, that they say that they're journalists, right? No, I don't consider myself a journalist. I would never disrespect the field like that, right? None of these individuals are journalists. They're far from that. I don't think they quite understand what a journalist is. Even though they're reporting on something, that doesn't mean that they're a journalist, right? I mean, that's like saying a fucking zoologist and a veterinarian is the same thing. They both specialize in animals, but they're two completely different things, right? So even though both are reporting on things, they're two different things, right? Journalist is like, let's say if an idea or a news report hits your table, right? Individuals then look into it, right? Using their resources, their backgrounds, they confirm to see if the information that they have received is true or not, right? They tie in all loose ends and make sure that what this is factual. What they have received is factual, and then they report it to the public. Compare that to you giving some information and you don't do no background check. You don't even see if it's valid or not, and you just go and you throw it out there. That's not journalism. You see the two different things, right? That's why not just anybody can be a journalist. That's why it takes, dedication, time, education, devotion, and having good morals, a good moral compass. I think these individuals are, so full of themselves that that they think it's just as easy as saying that you're a journalist and there it is. And when it doesn't work like that, you know what I mean? Now, what makes content, like, there's individuals that say, okay, well, individuals out there, they make content, right? But other people talk shit when they talk about the matter, right? But when other people report on it, they don't say nothing. You can always tell when somebody is exploiting the situation, exploiting the scenario for their own, selfish benefits, right? Compared to they're looking to throw the information out there. That way the public is informed, or it could help the scenario, right? And that is the individuals that exploit the matter are the ones that use it as clickbait, right? Like they title their book, their movie, or their videos, whatever the matter is, and then you click on it, right? But they don't speak about the matter, right? They then start saying, oh yeah, well, I think this happened, or I think this is going on, and and it mislead the public. They use this scenario to mislead the public, and now in order for them to express what they really wanted to express. That's exploiting the situation, right? And constantly dropping, content on the exact same thing, just phrasing it differently, or now coming with a different, opinion or a different perspective, that's exploiting the matter, right? They're using the headline in order to draw in views for their selfish means. That is exploiting the situation, If the news were to be reporting as many times as these YouTubers do, right, about any little thing that people think is possibly what's happening, bro, then they would never get off the subject. But the news don't do that, right? Because then obviously, then the news doesn't become reliable no more. People now start to be like, even though it's not reliable as it is, right? But less than that now. Would you consider yourself a historian on YouTube without a degree for that? No, hell no. I would never disrespect the historians like that either. You know what I mean? I'm just somebody that's here to chop it up. I wouldn't title myself something like that, right? Like, maybe if I had an ego, probably, right? I'm a historian, or I'm a specialist in the streets. What's good, Eric? What's cracking like it? I don't know. It's me, but whenever I talk about other, feel like I'm too smart for them. Meaning in the sense that I gotta simply conversation and learn. Maybe well, it depends. Not everyone's gonna be like informed on like every subject, right? So you might be more knowledgeable in let's say like in whatever you're discussing, right? But they could also have knowledge, right? But on other things, right, that you might not be so informed on, right? It just depends on whatever we're discussing. But yes, there is some people that are fucking like, it's like talking to a fucking cactus. It's like there's certain people that just do not educate themselves, not one single bit. Like what they rather learn is useless and pointless, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like they rather spend their time, consuming garbage. But I guess I'm tripping so freaking hard. Why? Why are you tripping for? Don't trip. Take a deep breath. Go. You got to turn your TV down. My TV? In my car? Shadow, what happened to the ice cream we had in the 90s, homie? Yeah, it's still around, my boy. They still have them. And I know this because, I have gotten them from my sons, not even that long ago. So they're still around. With the chicles for the eyes, you got the bubble gum for the eyes? Nah, those were good, but the ones that were legendary were the wrestling ice creams. The ones that came in the fucking, it was like a cardboard box, right? And it came with a wrestling card. And it was like fucking like a bread type shit, and then it was vanilla, and it had a chocolate, cover in the back. Woo! And it had a wrestler like fucking design on the pinche ice cream. My boy, that shit was fuego! Fuego, bro. Shit, I haven't seen those in a while now. Those shits right there. Woo, my boy, those shits used to smack. They used to smack as much as the chalupas in school. Or the calzones. The pizza thing, not the fucking, actual calzone. Did he say the youngest of son? Did he would say that, huh? You're a veterano in the street. Man, I'm just another fucking motherfucker out here. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't highlight I don't highlight like the term veterano or OG. You know what I mean? Like if that's a good thing or a positive thing. You know what I mean? It's not something to be like to try to throw it around like if it's something to be proud of. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm an OG. Yeah. Well, yeah, because we're fucking stupid and you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be an OG. You'd rather be something better than that. It's not something to fucking, try to throw around like a badge of honor. You want to shadow somebody? What's good, my boy? Someone said, "You the." That's the first time I heard that one. You the throat goat. Damn. I thought that was Diddy though. With all his famous quotes that he be saying, like the younger the soul, the tighter the hoe, or once you get oil, you'll definitely be spoiled. Grizzly, man. For You guys are funny. At what age is a veterano? You can be an OG in your 30s, but veterano would say past 50. Veterano's like, yeah, an older homie, like somebody that's already like old. I remember when I got called OG, for the first time, I was just like, all right, what the fuck? Like, bro, I'm still young, relax. Don't make these gray hairs fool you. We still sort of young. Now, I think an OG's like in his like 50s, 60s, 50, 60. 50, yeah. 50's OG already. Your late 30s, you're already knocking into becoming an OG, sort of, right? You're knocking. You've been around. Because look, there's individuals that are like 50, 60 years old. But my boy, they are far from OG. They never did shit, never put in no work, never did a goddamn thing, bro. They just managed to somehow just slither their way by. Sadly, those are the ones that always be bragging the most, which is always the thing that has always, blown my mind. Even from homies from my neighborhood. Like, my boy, you always bragging, yet you're the one that done the least out of anybody here. How the fuck is that? Shit always. Have you ever heard of Buzzballs, the alcohol drink? Yeah, I heard of them. I haven't tried them. They're just too modern day for me already. I don't like shit with all this sweet stuff in it, right? I don't like mixing like alcohol with anything that's sweet. I feel like alcohol shouldn't be sweet. It's not a fucking candy, but veterano, 8-year-old, serio. They canceled the WWE ice cream. My boy, no more. Oh man, serio? No wonder I haven't seen him. Fucking Vince McMahon, huh? Pinche vato. That will always be fucking up all the good shit, huh? Dude, you hitting 60s. No, I'm not. I'm barely knocking 40, my boy. We barely knocking 40, carnal. Damn, do I look that truenado already? Shit. Must be the mustache. Let me take it off. LG for the first time. Late 20s. Well, yeah, now that I think, yeah, seeing it from that point of view, yeah, I mean, compared to their age, yeah, I guess, Like, hey, y'all, I'm down to hit with y'all's, skibbity toilet, what's another one that they use? Skibbity toilet and, ratchet and, no, it's thought now, it's thought, oh, my bad, thought, lit, and aura. Did I pass that? Like, if we need any more terms, huh? Street, there's like bitch, slut, hoe, tramp, skank, harlot, fucking thought, ratchet. Like, fuck, any more? Like, if we need any more words to describe that, like, any more, is there? But I get it though. The new generation wants to distance themselves from the old generation. It happens with every single generation. right? The lingo changes, estilos change, and everything because they don't want to be seen as they like the stuff that their parents like. So therefore, they try to be as different as possible, right? You can't be hearing the same music that the old folks are hearing or dressing like the old folks do. So I could see why the estilos and lingo always changes because they want to separate themselves from that. They want to be, they want to see themselves as their own person and not someone that's just trying to be like their parents or the past generation. Trying to be unique, stand out. Okay? Lingo's always changed. Even in our time, right? The crowd before that, they give me some skin. Like what? Or that's fly. It's only when you're old. Oh, gee. I mean, there's individuals that have been around for a long time, because they got in when they were so young and they have put in so much work that it just feels like they fucking been there forever. Street Dreams. Have you ever heard of the female rapper Cardi B? Yeah, isn't she the one that's going to a fucking court right now? Because she beat up her assistant, her secretary, her butler. Her maid? Dumb lights getting called out again. No, I did see. I seen Chills 16 on Life. He made a video about it, and I peeped it out. It's a really good video. Chill's a really good individual. You actually peep out his channel. He's a cool dude. Good rapper too. Chill has a lot of talent. His channel should be bigger than what it is. I just don't understand that though. Like the individuals that are actually like solid, cool individuals, their channels are not as big as the fakes and the frauds in YouTube. And maybe that's why, because you have a moral compass, that's why it's harder for you to grow, right? Because when you have a moral sense of things, right, you're not gonna do certain things that other individuals are willing to do, and you already know that those things definitely bring in viewership and subscribers, but for all the wrong reasons though. Not so much that people watch you because they like what you're saying and are laughing with you, but they think you're a fucking idiot and they're laughing at you, and they just are waiting for you to fuck up, so bad that you come crashing down, and they're right there waiting, front row seats. So I tell people, don't get lost in the illusion of the numbers, right? Like me, for example, just because I get like views on a certain, that doesn't, I don't come and be thinking like, oh damn, people really like my video. For all I know, people probably disagreed or didn't like it or just viewing. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna rush to conclusion and think that automatically, oh yeah, these people are down with me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what that means. But there's people that get lost and really think that that's what it is. Shit, there's them that go further and buy their ticket in. People make alcohol too sweet. Yeah, and then they wonder why they be throwing up everywhere. Why do alcohol? No, well, not all alcohol is made out of fruit, though. You have the ones that it's wheat, a lot of wheat, barley. Tunda is a new one. I'm not saying why no South Sider speaks on him ever, and it's always other. I just can't speak politics like. I know. Like for example, like let's say I know the truth about the individual and his status and stuff like that, right? Let's just say I happen to know information about any Southsider on here, right? Now, with me having this information, why would I come on YouTube? Even though, like, let's say we disagree and this individual is no longer in good standings or whatever, why would I come onto YouTube and throw this out there for regular people that are not from the streets, that don't gangbang, why would I provide them with that information though? What are they gonna get out of that? Why should they care about that? Like, why should they care that this individual snitched or he's no good? You get me? Like, they're not from the streets, they're not gangster. So, why would they care about that information, right? Like, if I know that there's paperwork on somebody, right, I'm not gonna come and throw it on the internet for everyone to say, hey, look, look, look. Now, if you hand the paperwork, hey, go hand it to somebody from their neighborhood, from that guy's neighborhood. Go give it to him. Go give it to them, I mean. And then they could go and fix it. Because that's their problem, not ours. Oh, but you guys are all Southside. Yeah, not from the same barrio, bro. We don't clean up other people's backyards. Neighborhoods don't clean up other people's backyards. You go take it and give it to their neighborhood. And then they can fix the matter. But why come and provide it to the internet for people that are not gang related? Why should they care? Why would they care? Who gives a fuck? Right? That's just, we don't get down like that. People don't move like that. It just would not make no sense whatsoever. Right? Now it's different. Like, let's say an individual has been lying and saying that he's something when he's not, because the evidence shows that there's not. Like, okay, you're bringing the proof now. Bam. Now there, you can't say nothing because individuals are merely pointing out the truth on things, right? But as in to say for somebody to come and take action, or for, wanting to convince the audience to take action, why should they take action? They're not from the streets. Why would they care? Right? You can open people's eyes, but don't expect them to fucking react on it though. Right? Like when people want them to jump on board onto the beef, like for them to now dislike them and try to target them. Like, why? Why would they? Now, I see people throw it out there. I wouldn't throw it out there, but if that's what they do, that's what they do. Are West Side Poles still around? Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, they're actually getting pretty large as of recently. Are you still banging Redford? I'm still representing Redford. Is Riz the new? Oh, there you go, Riz. I forgot about that one. Riz, you got Riz. Like ribs? Where? Barbecue? They're gonna have new. Yeah, yeah. And then it's only a matter of time before they come. A new generation comes along and they start using different fucking lingos themselves. Like, I don't know, that Zammer. Like what? Because people just fucking just literally throw anything together and just say it. Like that's Blasey. What? Okay. To be young and dumb, huh? Saludos. He's more educated and higher than YouTubers because it's never good to try to think that you're higher than somebody, Like, don't ever think that you're better than somebody in this world, because no matter what situation people are in or the lack of, education, I guarantee you that there's something that person could teach you that you don't know, right? Even if it's a homeless person, right? He might know something that you just might not know, right? He can teach you something. Whether it's useful or not, now that's a different story, right? But nonetheless, you learn something from that individual. So somebody could always teach you something, right? Even the age, right? Don't think because you're older that you know more than the younger person. Because I see that that's definitely a problem. Not just in the streets, but in work-related scenarios, in society in general, right? Older people have a very hard time, admitting that this younger person taught them something, right? They want to feel like the youngsters can't teach them shit, right? And because they're older, they're right. No, just because you're older doesn't mean you're right. You could be wrong, right? There's a lot of stubborn, arrogant people in this world. Is that what happened to? Is that what happened to it? don't know nothing about none of that. Yes, it has been going to 17 years. No, he hasn't. He's been going there for probably like his time less than his time on YouTube. Was he going to ELAC? Because ELAC takes forever. I know some individuals that go to ELAC, and ELAC is like you're stuck there forever. They actually say to people to avoid going to ELAC, as a matter of fact, because you literally get stuck there and going nowhere for a very long time. Now I don't know. That's just what I heard, right? And from the ones I know that have went to ELAC, right? Nobody I have known that goes to ELAC has said anything good about it, right? So I'm just like, my daughter goes to a university, and even she says that people talk bad about ELAC. What the? He said, "Good Lord, 17 years." So he's on his. No, Sonny is good though. Sonny is a good individual, and he's actually a highly respected individual from his neighborhood. That I know for sure, for sure, and not just because he said it, right? But because I know individuals from Elmwood. Prior to meeting Sonny, I knew of Sonny. He said I heard something. Now it looks like individual is trying to do something with himself, right? It's just that understanding his background and like how he grew up, right? It's a lot harder for individuals like us to get our shit together and to be able to stick to something. I know what he experiences, and I know how difficult it could be, right? Like I said, as much as I try to educate myself and seek therapy, right? And been doing it for a while already now, no matter the work I had put in, anytime any scenario pops off, I can't control my anger and my temper, right? Even though okay, I'll get nothing out of it, it's a pointless, I could go to jail, whatever. All seems of ration and reason just flies out the window. Like I just can't think straight, and I don't even think. I just react, and I don't want to. I don't want to be like that, but I can't help that. That's just the way that I react, though. You get what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that one day I could change that, or I'm actually hoping that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually hoping that I would, that it will change. And I, like I said, my wife's been seeing progress. She said, right? So, so I feel like I'm making progress, right? But I'm still not at the point where I'm happy with the results. But how people be like, well, it's easy, just don't, or it's just like grow up already, whatever. It's just not, though. It's just not. Like when it's already like embedded and built in you, right? You just can't help but to react a certain way or be a certain way, right? And it's very difficult to change that. That's why I would say it's very important to be a parent, right? And to be there for your kids as when they're young, right? Because once you try to apply yourself when they're old and to try to get them to better their ways, it's gonna be very difficult to change their way of thinking and being, right? So you want to tackle the problem before it gets out of control. Better when they're young, because even already when they hit their like 17, 18, 16, that you're already going to be struggling to try to get them to change their bad habits. You're going to find it very difficult already. That's why you can't let it get to that point, right? Parents always want to come and make change and be there for their kids or try to help their kids once the fucking problem is already out of control, bro. Once they already in their fucking, like in juvenile hall or 16, 17. Like, I get it. You see them as, well, they're still young. They're still, yeah, bro, but they're not, their soul is old already, bro, right? You have to tackle the problem before it gets to that age, right? Once they're reaching high school already and they're already going in there troubled, good luck, bro. Good luck. You're going to fucking find it very difficult to try to get your kid to stick to the right path. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there is people that do, right? But very, very, very difficult. And at a very slim amount. You know, it's almost like they're already gassy lost causes already. Sad but true. That's when people be like, what would you do if your kid wanted to get into a gang? If my kid wants to get into a gang, then I have already failed as a parent. If he already is thinking of joining, then I have already been fucking up for a very long time. And this problem has already been there for a very long time for me to try to now come and care and tackle it. Right? Like, if they're already thinking about it, right? And dancing around with the idea, then I've been failing as a parent. Then I have already fucked up. For a very long time, I've been fucking up. Right? The whole point is raising your kids to never wanting to get into a gang or even think of getting into a gang. Right? Because once they're already thinking about it, you've been fucking up already for a long time, because this is not something that just happens. One day I just woke up and I wanted to get into a gang. It's a process, bro. It's a very long process, right? They slowly become that way. They don't fucking become like that overnight. So that's why when people be like, you know, they were doing good for a little bit, but then they fucked up again, or they changed for just a bit, but then they go back to their old ways and they never fucking learn. It's like, well, yeah, bro. Like I said, the problem had already been there for a while, bro. It's not something you could just fix in one day or within a few months. It's gonna take time. Don't be mad at him. Be mad at yourself for not fucking actually doing what needed to be done. Right? Because you wanted to be fucking, selfish, bro, and only care about yourself and what you were doing. You know? What you like, your time. Right? Because you didn't want to watch TV in the same room. You'd rather have them in their room and you watching your show. Because you don't want to watch cartoons, or you don't want to watch what they're watching. Make sacrifices. That way you bond and spend time together. See what they like, even though you're tired because you'll be working 3 jobs. Just interact for 15 minutes. See what their interests are, what they like. Conversate for a little bit. But no. You'd rather always be with your comadres or your compadres drinking, on your social media, going to the clubs or bars with your friends. You know what I mean? Anytime they try to talk to you, I'm busy, I'm tired, not right now, go over there. Then don't be bitching and whining when your kids turn out to be from the streets then. Because you felt it's so difficult to have a conversation with them for fucking 10 minutes a day. And then want to blame the streets and blame their friends and blame the gangs. Get the fuck out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good shopping with you guys, and we out.